Hello. For this demonstration, I wanted to showcase how ArcGIS can be used to coordinate and track network designs by leveraging ArcGIS Workflow Manager and the utility network. So let's jump right in and start our demo as a project manager who is responsible for ensuring that our fiber projects stay on time and on budget. Now, as a PM, I need a tool to help me manage all of our jobs and the tasks involved in the design process. ArcGIS Workflow Manager allows me to easily see high-level information on all of our projects, as well as the location of each of our jobs. With Workflow Manager, I not only can track my projects, but I can design the end-to-end workflow and all of the tasks involved. Here we see a workflow that we've designed to support our desktop and walkout surveys. Each step in the design process can be assigned to an individual or a group of users who can pick up that task. Now, in this desktop and walkout survey process, we have many tasks being performed by many different folks. Myself as a project manager, our engineers, and our field engineers all play a role and require different apps and tools to complete this job. ArcGIS Workflow Manager, integrated with other Esri apps and the utility network, helps make this entire process easy and streamlined. Let's see how. I'll start by creating a job for our desktop and walkout survey. And from this view, we can see this new job, the current step or task that it is in the overall process, who this task is assigned to, and from here, we can start this step. Now, starting our job informs me that a new utility network database version will be created for this design, and to proceed to define a location for our job. Starting the job location step brings up a map for creating a project location, where we have our entire as-built network, and I can see other locations of our projects. Now, for this desktop and walkout survey, we ultimately want to build out fiber into this neighborhood. So I'll draw a job boundary around it. And then proceed to the next step. Now we'll assign an engineer to perform our desktop survey. I'll select from a list one of our engineers and I'll enter in their email address. And once we proceed, an email is then sent to our engineer tasking them with starting a desktop survey for this fiber project. Now, as this job progresses, I can pull up additional details on this particular job or project, along with a view of the workflow diagram and the exact step that we are in this particular workflow, along with a map view of our current project location and any attachments that have been associated to this job, like permit drawings. But now, let's jump into our desktop survey. So switching roles as a network designer, an email notification just came into my inbox letting me know that a new desktop survey is needed for job 18. Clicking on the link in our email takes me right to our ArcGIS web portal and the ArcGIS Pro project package, which has already been pre-configured with the tools and GIS data needed to help me complete my desktop survey. Opening up this Pro project launches our desktop survey within ArcGIS Pro. In the Workflow Manager panel, I can see all of the tasks and jobs that are assigned to me as an engineer. Let's start our desktop survey task, which opens up our network map with all of the utility network layers in it. Our job location is also dynamically added to the map, and the map zooms right to our job. And the utility network database version has also been switched to our job 18 version. So now we can start to sketch in our high-level design and our proposed route. We'll start this route off up at our existing network, and we'll come down our road and we'll feed into this neighborhood. I'll add a few more legs off of our main fiber route. And then we'll use this as our proposed route for our field engineer. Now, before we assign a walkout survey, if we want to perform a remote walkout survey and take a look at this route while we're in the desktop, we can do that through the integration with Street View solutions. So here in our Street View, I have the realistic view of what is actually out there. I have the route going down the middle of the street, and I can start to see structures and other things we may attach our equipment to. And directly within our Street View solution, we can measure right on our Street View images. But now that our high-level design is complete and we've performed our desktop and remote survey, I'll mark this step completed in our overall workflow. And just to verify, we have a step here to confirm that our desktop survey has been completed. Now let's jump back into Workflow Manager as a project manager. So back in Workflow Manager, now that our desktop survey is complete, it's time for me as a project manager to assign a walkout survey work order. Now this task launches Workforce for ArcGIS directly within Workflow Manager. Now Workforce for ArcGIS allows our organization to assign and track field work orders for all the field engineering work orders associated with our fiber buildouts. So let's create a new work order assignment for job 18. And this assignment will be a walkout survey. And it'll be assigned to one of our field engineers. And we'll enter in some additional information to complete this work order. And we'll create our assignment. And just as quickly as we've done that, we'll mark this step as completed. Now let's transition to our field engineer to see how they receive their work order and how they are able to streamline their walkout survey using the ArcGIS field apps. So as a field engineer, I have access to the Workforce mobile app, which allows me to see all of my field engineering assignments, including the latest assignment to perform a walkout. Selecting our walkout survey work order shows me exactly where it is on the map. Starting our assignment alerts our project manager in the back office that we have started our work. Now, Workforce for ArcGIS can integrate with the other ArcGIS field apps, including Collector for ArcGIS for data collection. Opening up Collector brings me right to the job location, and I can easily see our high-level design that I need to walk out. As I perform my walkout survey, I can add map notes to designate any changes to this route design and add any structure information that may be needed to help us with the detailed design. So let's add a few communication poles and some aerial span. We'll fill out some information on the pole that we see, and we'll add the point to our map. Then we'll submit this record. Now, if there are similar poles along this route, we can easily copy the information from our first pole into the remaining pole features and then add those to our map as we go. And we'll just add a couple more poles. Next, let's add some aerial span. This will be our span unit that is in service. And you'll notice as my cursor gets close to our pole, it snaps the end vertices of our aerial span directly to our pole locations. And once again, we'll just copy this feature, re-add our vertice locations, and we'll connect our aerial span between poles. Now, once we've completed our walkout survey, I'll jump back into Workforce and I'll close out my work order assignment. Using the ArcGIS field apps, it makes it really easy for field engineers to get their work order assignments and perform their field surveys and collect all the data they need for their work order. So once again, back in the office as a project manager, I have just received a notification that a walkout survey has been completed and needs verification. And Workflow Manager will go back to job 18 and will verify that this walkout is complete. This step launches back into Workforce, where I can see that the walkout work order has been completed on August 20th. So we'll mark this step as completed. So now that our desktop and walkout surveys are complete, let's go ahead and review it. This final step takes me to a web application where I can view and access all of the project details and the design versions being managed in the utility network. We'll switch our design version to job 18 so we can see the design for this particular job. I can also highlight the changes on the map and see each change that has been done to this design along the process. And I can compare any of these design changes to any other design version as well as our as-built network. And so if everything looks good with this desktop and walkout survey and this high-level design, we'll mark this final step here as completed. We'll close out this job and mark this design as being ready for permitting, which completes the survey tasks for this project and then kicks off the permitting process. With ArcGIS and the suite of web and mobile applications, we can use the power of GIS to help optimize the planning and design process, while ensuring that we properly manage our fiber projects and track each and every step in the design process.